In fact, the 1996 Dickey Amendment, put in place by the NRA and its puppets in Congress, specifically forbids the CDC from researching and promoting gun control. This has effectively led to a ban on all publicly funded research into gun violence over the past 20 years. Meanwhile, the president himself, while speaking extemporaneously in a room full of cameras and lawmakers, introduced gun legislation. Proposals that poll at 90% in this country, issues universal background checks, banning assault rifles and bump stocks and high-capacity magazines. He even suggested preemptively taking guns away from those who pose an danger to themselves and others. Because this is common sense.
Common sense laws.
Well, that honeymoon lasted about 12 hours until the NRA sent its goons up to the White House to remind him to literally take the opposite position. And then what ideas did they have for us? They wanted to put guns in teachers' classrooms. It's a notion so idiotic, it's outrageous and an insult to all of you young people and all of you people who have devoted your lives to the education of our children. It's the same pathetic cowardice we've seen for decades. But something is changing. Look around you. Right now, all across this great nation of ours, hundreds of thousands of people are gathering in rallies just like this. And they're demanding action. Just 10 days ago, tens of thousands of youth joined you in exercising their First Amendment rights and walked out in defense of their right to an education unencumbered by fear and violence. One by one, corporations are standing up, and they're acknowledging there are no neutral parties in this fight, and that you're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. The American Academy of Pediatrics is establishing the Gun Safety and Injury Prevention Research Initiative, whose charge is to do the work that our politicians and our government agencies have not done. And this is thanks to your leadership, the young people who put this together and who are doing this all across the nation. You are the difference.
Rise up!
For decades, we've blamed our politicians for failing to act on gun control. But look, it's us. It's us, the adults in the room, who are to blame here because we have not held them accountable. And we've allowed them to remain in their positions despite their deafening silence on this issue. We have failed you, but you are leading, and we hear you. Now make no mistake, we're up against a powerful machine. The NRA is the greatest state-sponsored terrorist organization in this country. Tell me, how else does a group of 5 million people systematically threaten and intimidate the other 320 million of us? While pouring hundreds of millions of murderous weapons into our streets. And yes, I say state-sponsored terrorist organization, because every politician who accepts a dime from them is complicit. And they have the blood of 30,000 Americans on their hands every single year. But something is changing, because we've got a secret weapon. All of you people. All of the youth. Your whole lives, people have been telling you that you're the future. Well, guess what? You're not the future. You are the present, and the time is now. We commend you for your leadership, and on behalf of all of us who have let you down before, we will not let you down again. But I have one final request for you, if you'll permit me. Keep this momentum going.
Yes!
November is a long time from now. I implore you, don't go home this summer and let this energy dissipate. Talk to your friends back home. Remind those who need reminding of the endlessly rising death toll, of the cost of inaction, of the thousands of future teachers, doctors, senators, mothers and fathers whose lives are cut short every year and who never get a chance to live their dreams. Remind them that none of us are safe unless we all are safe, and we all deserve to be safe and free and to have an opportunity to change the world. Remind them that we reject the notion that if we can't stop all gun deaths, then we won't stop any. Take this passion here today and grow it back home. And bring it back here in the fall and carry it all the way through to Election Day and the election after that and the next one and the next one until no more lives are lost and common sense gun legislation is the law of the land. Now go be great!
But certainly not least, would you please welcome me in joining two of our biggest supporters in Lansing and in Washington, State Representative Yusuf Rabi and Congresswoman Debbie Dingell.
How we doing, Ann Arbor? Let's see those signs! Let's see those signs! Let's see those signs! Let's hear it for our kids that are here today! Let's hear it for our teachers that are here today! Let's hear it for every single one of you and the organizers of this event! So as the doc said, you know, some politicians will deafen you with their silence. I'm about to deafen you with my anger. Because you know what? We can do better as a nation. We can do better as a nation. This is not the America that we believe in. We believe in a nation where our kids can be safe when they go to school. We believe in a nation where people don't get shot up when they go to a club or another venue. We believe in a nation where an unarmed black man doesn't get shot down in cold blood by our law enforcement officers. But you know what I believe in? I believe in you. I believe in all of us. I believe that we, united, will march not just today. We will march to November, and we will take our country back. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusuf. And thank you to every young person who helped organize today. First of all, let me be clear. I have an F from the NRA, the proudest F I have. I actually told Yusuf the NRA considers me one of their biggest enemies, and I'm proud of that. But I want to, it's time, we've heard the words, and you know, they said to me, you can speak anytime. And I said, we want to listen to the young people, because they are the voices that are going to finally make the difference. We've heard the words, and the time is now for action. You know, this is a subject that is very personal to me. And as people come up and they talk about the stories, and it is the young people who have a right to go to school and be safe that can make the difference. But it's happening when you go to a concert or when you're in church and you're going to the movies. Or, for some people, when you're in the home. And you know, I have talked about this more in the last couple of years, and quite frankly, I don't sleep some night with the memories. I lived in a home with a man that should not have had access to a gun. I know what it's like to keep someone from shooting their mother. I know what it's like to hide in that closet that I don't want any young person to hide, and to pray to God that I would live through the night and my brother and sister would be okay. And you know what? I called the police and they didn't come. And we didn't talk about it. We were embarrassed back then. We had no power of words. And I was embarrassed for years to admit that I even lived in a home that would happen in, because there was so much power, and there was so much power of that gun. That fear and that anxiety has never left my heart. My baby sister was never okay. She ultimately died of a drug overdose. But we have to do something about guns. We have to get them away from people who should not have access to a gun. And it is time to march, but I want to say several things. You've heard what the students have said we must do. Yesterday, we have finally, and the president signed it yesterday, said that the CDC can do research on the violence against guns. That was in the bill. And we did one other thing. We passed NICS, which will start to give support for getting the data into the National Information Network system that will start to track it. We did pass safety for schools and got that through. But it's not enough. It is not enough. We need background checks, pure and simple. What is wrong with a background check? And I am going to beg all of you for another thing. You don't have to worry about Yusuf and me. That's the biggest frustration right now. Though some of you live next door in the 7th Congressional District and some of the other districts, and we've got to say to every member of Congress, the time for action is now. Enough is enough. But in Lansing, there's one of the bills that I am introducing with another Republican from the state of Michigan, and I am working with Fred Upton. We are not going to give up. We are going to keep working till we get a bipartisan solution to getting guns out of the hands of people's hands. I will not stop. But there's something called a red flag law, and I want to, some of the mental health community doesn't like that word, and we got to use words so that people know. We need to get help to people that need help. But if you or I, my father shouldn't have had access to that gun. And if I, as a family member, or if a law enforcement member knows that somebody could be a threat to themselves, even Indiana, with Mike Pence, the Vice President of the United States, and Mitch Daniels, but they supported this legislation. Our Speaker of the House in Lansing said, no way, we can't let one man say no way. So you've got an elected representative. You have Yusuf. You need to network our young people with your colleagues, your classmates at high school after high school throughout this state. You need to march. You need to make your voices heard. And you need to send a message. One man cannot stop what we know needs to happen to keep students safe. So, you're part of a movement. In Washington, more than 500,000 young people are marching. And they're aging. Let's hear it for the young. Let's make our voices heard to Washington. And there are 800 gatherings like this across the country at a very grassroots level. But today experience what I experienced as a child again. So let's start marching. Let's hear our voices heard. Let's do everything we can. We will make the change. Our young people are 25% of our population, 100% of our future. Go make our future safe.
And with that, it's time to march! There will be volunteers along the way to guide you in the right direction. Please be respectful and safe. Thank you for attending, and let's keep this movement marching forward!
You just never built a stack of